I've been sober since 9/29/2017. Before I started using substances, I had a life where I just didn't feel like I fit in. I felt like something was missing and I didn't know what. Alcohol started out as my drug of choice and then it slowly turned into other things. I think I was 21 and I had some traumatic things happen in my life, and I knew before those events had happened, I needed to step away and put alcohol down and drugs down, and I just couldn't. You know, I woke up knowing that one day I said I was just going to stop, and the next day I realized I could not stop. No matter what I tried to do, I couldn't stop. I tried going to treatment. I tried a variety of things. I tried going to church. I tried everything under the sun. I just thought, for some reason, I thought I could fix it, and I didn't realize that it was internal. I couldn't fix what was already broken. I was going through a struggle in life, had a divorce, woke up one day homeless, looking in the rearview mirror, seeing two kids in the back seat, no place to go, no place to sleep, and I knew I needed to stop, and I couldn't. And at that point, I knew I needed to change something, and even though you would think that would be enough to change and make somebody clean themselves up, I found myself incarcerated. I spent quite a few years in jail, and upon release, next thing I know, I'm back in jail. But that eye-opening, defining moment, I think, was driving down the road, trying to come up with another excuse to my PO why I was going to be late or why I wasn't going to make it to the appointment. And I'll never forget that it was like this moment where the PO, he flat out said, you know, like, you just do what you're going to do, because I know what you're doing. I know you're using drugs, and I know you're not going to quit until you're ready to quit. So you just go ahead and do whatever it is you want to do. And in that moment, I think something changed inside of me. The mask was removed, and it was no longer like I was trying to hide something. I was driving down the road in a car with a whole bunch of stolen TVs and you name it. The car was loaded full of stolen stuff. And for whatever reason, in that moment, I cried out to God and asked for help. And He has a sense of humor, because the car broke down in the middle of the Glen Highway with all the stolen stuff. And I had an option. I was with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend said, "Let's go." She got up, she walked out, and I just sat there. I just sat there and I waited, and I knew what was going to happen. I knew they were coming. I knew they were going to arrest me. I knew I had a warrant. But in that moment, I had reached a point where it was no longer about me. Something needed to change, and no matter what I was doing, I see the end. You know, I'd already been in jail. I knew I was going back. Everybody around me was dying. I knew that it was either jail, institution, or death. And in that moment, you know, I had an act of providence. It was my first spiritual awakening, I believe. I'm pretty stubborn and bullheaded. I entered a program. If it wasn't for that discipline, I don't know if I would have made it, because they forced us, even when I didn't want to do it, they forced me to go downstairs at 7 in the morning and hit my knees and pray to a God that I didn't believe in at that time. And it really forced me to do some things, and I want to say that opened the door. The treatment center really was the gate to my sobriety. But it was the people that I met inside that treatment center. There was a connection with the AA program. The outside AA program was coming in, and some of the relationships that I met and bonded with then, I still have those friends to this day. They are still probably some of the strongest relationships I've ever met. So the connection that I actually found in and out of the rooms and in the treatment centers is what brought me to my sobriety. What's my life like today? It's amazing today. I'm a substance use program manager at True North Recovery. I have a wife, a kid on the way, a beautiful house, a beautiful life, and it isn't even the material things like those. I've had those before. They can come and go, and ultimately, what I've found today is, like, my life today is genuinely happy. I am genuinely happy with the things that I have, and you know, when you have that spark in your eye and you enjoy the things you're doing, it rubs off on people, and that's what I love. When I go to work, like, it doesn't feel like work. My name's Andrew, and I'm a person in long-term recovery.